Good afternoon, members of the British Parliament, House of Commons and House of Lords, everyone attending this speech on behalf of the British monarchy. To begin with my humble speech on part of the last election of the Speaker, surely, as all of you may know, it has been a tradition over centuries to choose someone freely to be appointed as the Speaker, and that the person has to unwillingly accept and take part in their new office. For instance, being the most well-known case, Member of the Parliament Betty Boothroyd, the first female minister to take the place in the Speaker's chair. MP has to accept it or accept it. No further discussion. And MP Betty Boothroyd somehow refused by fear the new charge, being the first chosen female into taking this office. And other MPs had to literally drag her out of her chair into the Speaker's chair, without any opposition. This, for most viewers, might have looked somehow brutal and violent, but it was only an execution of what has been stated and practiced for more than 800 years. All in all, being named after Speaker of the House of Commons, and all it takes is an honor to whom may take the office, because we, as members of the Parliament, do not choose randomly but wisely. This person has to be capable to be fair, non-party in favor, fair and equal to both sides, has to have the wisdom to rule over discussion, to be the best with their duties and job, to perform in their acting as objective as they can be, to respect hundreds of years of tradition over the history of the British Empire, and in addition to this, to honor what it may take and imply to be an honorable member of the British Empire, and to Our Majesty, the Queen. As mentioned before, the Speaker acts as chairman during debates in the House of Commons, calls MPs to speak, and sees that the rules laid down by the House. The holder of this office is an MP who has been elected to be Speaker by other members of the Parliament. The Speaker is the chief officer and the highest authority of the House of Commons, and must remain politically impartial at all times. The Speaker also represents the Commons to the monarch, the Lords and other authorities, and chairs to the House of Commons Commission. As consequence, the new Speaker will have to preside over debates taking place in the Palace of Westminster, determine who may speak in a discussion, responsible for maintaining order during debate, punish whomever may break rules of the House, remain strictly non-partisan, I repeat, and I to renounce to any former political party when taking office into the House of Commons, will not be able to take place in any voting process nor debate, and in tie-break has to be non-partisan as well, to be as objective as it can be. The Speaker also has to perform administrative and procedural functions, has to reside in the parliamentary state nearby the Big Ben. It can always be compared to the Lord Speaker, but for all of you to know, we have nothing to do with Lord's affairs. Since they regulate themselves, everyone cares for each daily labors until laws have got to be sent to the Lords to debate. Although the Lord Speaker chairs the Lord's debating chamber, they have less authority than their counterpart Speaker in the Commons. This is because the Lords regulate themselves and the order of the business in the House. Therefore, unlike the Speaker in the House of Commons, the Lord Speaker does not call the House to order or rule on points of order, call members to speak, nor select amendments. Briefly, to be charged of the Speaker office, apart of being a high and noble title, is to be responsible for the whole House of the Commons and House of the Lords, when deciding the future laws and amendments within the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Finally, thank everyone and each of you for your attention and listening some remembrance word for us to recall what our traditions are about, since time can erase some things but not our culture